What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Oliver Wendell Holmes. So, what is so special about sitting? Nothing when we speak of the way we ordinarily sit. It's just one convenient way our bodies take a load off our feet. But sitting is a very special when it comes to meditation. You can know that superficially, easily enough from the outside. For instance, you might not know that a person is meditating when you see him standing or lying down or walking, but you know it immediately when he is sitting, especially if he is sitting on the floor. From any angle, the posture itself embodies wakefulness, even when the eyes are closed and the face is serene and peaceful. It is mountain-like in its majesty and solidity. There is a stability to it, which speaks volumes, broadcasting inwardly and outwardly. The moment the person dozes off, all these qualities evaporate. The mind collapses inwardly, the body visibly. In a sitting meditation, it involves sitting in an upright, dignified posture, often for extended periods of time. While it is relatively easy to assume an erect posture, that is just the beginning of this challenging process of continual unfolding. You may readily enough park your body, but there's still the question of what the mind is up to. Sitting meditation is not a matter of taking on a special body posture, however powerful that may be. It is adopting a particular posture toward the mind. It is mind sitting. Once you are sitting, there are many ways to approach the present moment. All involve paying attention on purpose, non-judgmentally. What varies is what you attend to and how. It is best to keep things simple and start with your breathing, feeling it as it moves in and out. Ultimately, you can expand your awareness to observe all the comings and goings, the gyrations and machinations of your own thoughts and feelings, perceptions and impulses, body and mind. But it may take some time for concentration and mindfulness to become strong enough to hold such a wide range of objects and awareness without getting lost in them or attached to particular ones, or simply overwhelmed. For most of us, it takes years and depends a good deal on your motivation and the intensity of your practice. So at the beginning, you might want to stay with the breath or use it as an anchor to bring you back when you are carried away. And you could try this for a few years and see what happens. And it helps to try setting aside a time every day for just being. 5 minutes would be fine, or 10 or 20 or 30 if you want to venture that far. Sit down and watch the moments unfold with no agenda other than to be fully present. Use the breath as an anchor to tether your attention to the present moment. Your thinking mind will drift here and there, depending on the currents and winds moving in the mind until at some point the anchor line grows taut and brings you back. This may happen a lot. Bring your attention back to the breath in all its vividness. Every time it wanders, keep the posture erect, but not stiff. Think of yourself as a mountain. It helps to come to a cushion or to a chair with a definite sense of taking your seat. Sitting meditation is different from just sitting down casually somewhere. There's energy in the statement of sitting. In the statement, the sitting makes as you take your seat, both in the choice of spots and in mindfulness filling your body. The posture embodies a stand, as in taking a stand, even though you are sitting. There's a strong sense of honoring place and placement of body and mind in moment. We take our seat to meditate, keeping all this in mind, yet without any investment in location or posture. There may indeed be definite power spots, indoors and outs, yet with this attitude of taking a stand, you can sit anywhere in any posture and be at home. When your mind and body collaborate in holding body, time, place, and posture and awareness, and remain unattached to having it have to be a certain way, then and only then are you truly sitting. And when we describe the sitting posture, The word that feels the most appropriate is dignity. Sitting down to meditate, our posture talks to us. It makes its own stand and statement. You might say the posture itself is the meditation. If we slump, it reflects low energy, passivity, a lack of clarity. If we sit ramrod straight, we are tense, making too much of an effort, trying too hard. When I use the word dignity, when I'm leading in certain situations and meditations, as in sit in a way that embodies dignity, everybody immediately adjusts their posture to sit up straighter, so that they don't stiffen. Faces relax, shoulders drop, head, neck, and back come into easy alignment. The spine rises out of the pelvis with energy. Sometimes people tend to sit forward, away from the backs of their chairs, more autonomously. Everybody seems to instantly know that inner feeling of dignity and how to embody it. Perhaps we just need little reminders from time to time that we are already dignified, deserving, worthy. Sometimes we don't feel that way because of the wounds and the scars we carry from the past, or because of the uncertainty of the future. It is doubtful that we came to feel undeserving on our own. We were helped to feel unworthy. We were taught it in 1,000 ways when we were little, and we learned our lessons well. So when we take our seat in meditation and remind ourselves to sit with dignity, we are coming back to our original worthiness. That in itself is quite a statement. You can bet our inside will be listening. Are we ready to listen too? Are we ready to listen to the currents of direct experience in this moment and this one, and the one following that? So try sitting with dignity for a few moments and note how you feel. Where are your shoulders? How is your spine? How's your head? Think about what it would mean to walk with dignity. When you sit with strong intentionality, the body itself makes a statement of deep conviction and commitment to its carriage. These radiate inward and outward. A dignified sitting posture is itself an affirmation of freedom and of life's harmony, beauty, and richness. Sometimes you feel in touch with it, other times you may not. Even when you feel depressed, burdened, confused, sitting can affirm the strength and value of this life lived now. If you can muster the patience to sustain your sitting for even a brief time, it can bring you in touch with the very core of your being, that domain which is beyond up or down, free or burdened, clear-sighted or confused. This core is akin to awareness itself. It doesn't fluctuate with mental state or life circumstances. It is mirror-like, impartially reflecting what comes before it. This includes a deep knowing that whatever is present, whatever has happened to shake your life or overwhelm you, will of itself inevitably change, and for this reason alone bears simply holding in the mirror of the present moment, watching it, embracing its presence, riding its waves of unfolding just as you ride the waves of your own breathing, and having faith that you will sooner or later find a way to act, to come to terms, to move through and beyond. Not by trying so much as by watching, by letting things be and feeling them fully moment by moment. Mindful sitting meditation is not an attempt to escape from problems or difficulties into some cut-off meditative state of absorption or denial. On the contrary, it is a willingness to go nose to nose with pain, confusion, and loss, if that is what is dominating the present moment, and to stay with the observing over a sustained period of time beyond thinking. You seek understanding simply through bearing the situation in mind along with your breath as you maintain the sitting posture. In the Zen tradition, one teacher, Shunryu Suzuki Roshi, put it this way: the state of mind that exists when you sit in the right posture is itself enlightenment. These forms of sitting meditation are not the means of obtaining the right state of mind. To take this posture is itself the right state of mind. In the sitting meditation, you are already touching your own truest nature. So when we practice sitting meditation, first and foremost, it means sitting in such a way that your body affirms, radiates, broadcasts an attitude of presence, that you are committed to acknowledging and accepting whatever comes up in any moment. This orientation is one of non-attachment and unwavering stability, like a clear mirror, only reflecting, itself empty, receptive, and open. This attitude is contained in the posture and the very way you choose to sit. The posture embodies the attitude. This is why many people find the image of a mountain helpful in deepening concentration and mindfulness in the sitting practice, invoking qualities of elevation, massiveness, majesty, unmovingness, rootedness, helps bring these qualities directly into posture and attitude. It is important to invite these qualities into your meditation all the time, practicing over and over again, embodying dignity, stillness, and unwavering equanimity in the face of any mind state which presents itself, especially when you are not in a grave state of distress or turmoil, can provide a solid, reliable foundation for maintaining mindfulness and equanimity, even in periods of extreme stress and emotional turmoil, but only if you practice. Although it is tempting to do so, you can't just think that you understand how to be mindful and save using it for only those moments when the big events hit. They contain so much power, they will overwhelm you instantly, along with all your romantic ideas about equanimity and knowing how to be mindful. Meditation practice is the slow, disciplined work of digging trenches, of working in the vineyards, of bucketing out a pond. It is the work of moments and the work of a lifetime, all wrapped into one. The sincerity of your efforts matters far more than elapsed time, since we are really talking about stepping out of minutes and hours and into moments, which are truly dimensionless and therefore infinite. Okay, so when it comes to meditation, mountains, as I've said, have a lot to teach, having archetypal significance in all cultures. Mountains are sacred places. People have always sought spiritual guidance and renewal in and among them. The mountain is the symbol of the prime axis of the world, like Mount Meru, the dwelling place of the gods, Mount Olympus, the place the spiritual leader encounters God and receives his or her commandments and covenant, Mount Sinai. Mountains are held sacred, embodying dread and harmony, harshness and majesty. Rising above all else on our planet, they beckon and overwhelm with their sheer presence. Their nature is elemental, rock hard, rock solid. Mountains are the place of visions, where one can touch the panoramic scale of the natural world and its intersection with life's fragile but tenacious rootings. Mountains have played key roles in our history and prehistory. To traditional peoples, mountains were and still are mother, father, guardian, protector, ally. In meditation practice, it can be helpful sometimes to borrow these wonderful archetypal qualities of mountains and use them to bolster our intentionality and resolve to hold the moment with an elemental purity and simplicity. The mountain image held in the mind's eye and in the body can freshen our memory of why we are sitting in the first place, and of what it truly means each time we take our seats to dwell in the realm of non-doing. Mountains are quintessentially emblematic of abiding presence and stillness. So this meditation, we'll call it the mountain meditation, can be practiced. And it can be modified to resonate with your personal vision of the mountain and its meaning. It can be done in any posture, but I find it most powerful when I am sitting cross-legged on the floor so that my body looks and feels most mountain-like inside and out. Being in the mountains or in sight of a mountain is helpful, but not at all necessary. It is the inner image which is the source of power here. So when you're ready, you can allow your eyes to close and picture the most beautiful mountain you know of or can imagine, one whose form speaks personally to you. And as you focus on the image or the feeling of the mountain in your mind's eye, notice its overall shape, the lofty peak, base rooted in the rock of the earth's crust, the steep or gently sloping sides. Note as well how massive it is, how unmoving, how beautiful, whether seen from afar or up close. A beauty emanating from its unique signature of shape and form, and at the same time embodying universal qualities of mountainous, transcending particular shape and form. Perhaps your mountain has snow at the top and trees on the lower slopes. Perhaps it has one prominent peak, perhaps a series of peaks or a high plateau. However it appears, just sit and breathe with the image of this mountain, observing it, noting its qualities. When you feel ready, see if you can bring the mountain into your own body, so that your body sitting here and the mountain of the mind's eye become one. Your head becomes the lofty peak, your shoulders and arms the sides of the mountain, your hips and legs the solid base rooted to the floor or to your chair or cushion. Experience in your body the sense of uplift, the axial, elevated quality of the mountain deep in your own spine. Invite yourself to become a breathing mountain, unwavering in your stillness, completely what you are beyond words and thoughts, a centered, rooted, unmoving presence. Now, as well, throughout the day, as the sun travels the sky, the mountain just sits. Lights and shadow and colors are changing virtually moment to moment in the mountain's adamantine stillness. Even the untrained eye can see changes by the hour. These evoke those masterpieces of Claude Monet, who had the genius to set up many easels and paint the life of his inanimate subjects hour by hour, moving from canvas to canvas as the play of light, shadow, and color transformed cathedral, river, or mountain, and thereby wake up the viewer's eye. As the light changes, as night follows day and day nights, the mountain just sits, simply being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another, and as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day, calmness abiding all change. In summer, there is no snow on the mountain, except perhaps for the very top or in the crags, shielded from direct sunlight. In the fall, the mountain may display a coat of brilliant fire colors. In winter, a blanket of snow and ice. In any season, it may at times find itself enshrouded in clouds or fog, or pelted by freezing rain. The tourists who come to visit may be disappointed if they can't see the mountain clearly, but it's all the same to the mountain, seen or unseen, in sun or clouds, broiling or frigid. It just sits, being itself. At times visited by violent storms, buffeted by snow and rain and winds of unthinkable magnitude, through it all the mountain sits. Spring comes, the birds sing in the trees once again, leaves return to the trees which lost them, flowers bloom in the high meadows and on the slopes, streams overflow with waters of melting snow. Through it all, the mountain continues to sit, unmoved by the weather, by what happens on the surface, by the world of appearances. As we sit holding this image in our mind, we can embody the same unwavering stillness and rootedness in the face of everything that changes in our own lives over seconds, hours, and years. In our lives and in our meditation practice, we experience constantly the changing nature of mind and body and of the outer world. We experience periods of light and dark, vivid color and drab dullness. We experience storms of varying intensity and violence in the outer world and in our own lives and minds. Buffeted by high winds, by cold and rain, we endure periods of darkness and pain as well as savoring moments of joy and uplift. Even our appearance changes constantly, just like the mountains experiencing a weather and a weathering of its own. By becoming the mountain in our meditation, we can link up with its strength and stability and adopt them for our own. We can use its energies to support our efforts to encounter each moment and with mindfulness, equanimity, and clarity. It may help us to see that our thoughts and feelings, our preoccupations, our emotional storms and crises, even the things that happen to us, are much like the weather on the mountain. We tend to take it personally, but its strongest characteristic is impersonal. The weather of our own lives is not to be ignored or denied. It is to be encountered, honored, felt, known for what it is, and held in high awareness since it can kill us. In holding it in this way, we come to know a deeper silence and stillness and wisdom than we may have thought possible, right within the storms. Mountains have this to teach us and more if we can come to listen. Yet when all is said and done, the mountain meditation is only a device, a finger pointing us toward somewhere. We still have to look, then go. While the mountain image can help us become more stable, human beings are far more interesting and complex than mountains. We are breathing, moving, dancing mountains. We can be simultaneously hard like rock, firm, unmoving, and at the same time soft and gentle and flowing. We have a vast range of potential at our disposal. We can see and feel. We can know and understand. We can learn, we can grow, we can heal, especially if we learn to listen to the inner harmony of things and hold the central mountain axis through thick and thin. Li Po said, "The birds have vanished into the sky, and now the last cloud drains away. We sit together, the mountain and me, until only the mountain remains." Keeping this mountain image in mind as you sit in formal meditation, try doing this. Explore its usefulness in deepening your capacity to dwell in stillness, to sit for longer periods of time, to sit in the face of adversity, difficulties and storms, or drabness in the mind. Ask yourself what you are learning from your experiences with this practice. Can you see some subtle transformation occurring in your attitude toward things that change in your life? Can you carry the mountain image with you in daily life? Can you see the mountain in others and allow them their own shape and form, each mountain uniquely itself?